Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today's Monday, January 2nd, 2023. So the first podcast of the new year. We'll do NFL, college football bowls, college basketball, NBA, NHL, the soccer roundup, news and notes, and best bet. I'll try to be quick. NFL, we'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to a big Monday nighter. Falcons over the Cardinals 20-19. Lions over the Bears 41-10. Chiefs over the Broncos 27-24. Patriots over the Dolphins 23-21. Giants over the Colts 38-10. Saints over the Eagles 20-10. Buccaneers over the Panthers 30-24. Browns over the Commanders 24-10. Jaguars over the Texans 31-3. 49ers over the Raiders 37-34 in overtime. Seahawks over the Jets 23-6. Packers over the Vikings 41-17. Chargers over the Rams 31-10. And the Steelers over the Ravens 16-13. Tonight's the big one, 8:30 ABC and ESPN. You have the Bills at the Bengals. Should be a great game. It's the best Monday Night Football game on paper of the year. The Bills are giving 1.5 totals, 49.5. My projection here is Bengals by 1.5 total of 46. So the question is, do I go with the under or do I go with Buffalo? So I have a 3.5 point edge on the under, and I meant to say Cincinnati. And I have a 3-point edge on the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going with the under. I think that the defenses will step up. Usually a game that you think on paper should go over usually goes under. So I'm going to go under 49.5 for my pick between the Bills and the Bengals. I think the Bengals will win the game. All right, college football bowls. We'll go over the results from Friday and Saturday, and we have a couple of bowl games today that we have to talk about. Friday, December 30th, Maryland over number 23, NC State 16-12 in the Mayo Bowl. The Sun Bowl, Pitt over number 18, UCLA 37-35. Gator Bowl, number 21, Notre Dame over number 19, South Carolina 45-38. Ohio over Wyoming 30-27 in overtime in the Arizona Bowl. His best bet closes the season with 5 wins in a row. I'm still in the process of determining my best bet record from 2022. So as soon as I have that, I'll give it to you. And then the Orange Bowl, number 6, Tennessee over number 7, Clemson, 31-14 in the Orange Bowl. And then Saturday, the Sugar Bowl, number 5, Alabama over number 9, Kansas State, 45-20. Music City Bowl, Iowa over Kentucky, 21-zip. The Fiesta Bowl, what a game. Number 3, TCU over number 2, Michigan, 51-45. And then the Peach Bowl, number 1, Georgia over number 4, Ohio State, 42-41 as Ohio State's Noah Ruggles misses a field goal at the end of the game as Georgia survives. And we almost had the 2 underdogs win outright and then had TCU Ohio State in the title game. That would have been wild. And let's be honest, I think Ohio State would have been favored in that game, even though they were the lower seed. But that was the best college football playoff semifinals ever. You may have not had Alabama or Clemson in it, but that was the best semifinals ever, if you ask me. We never had semifinals of the college football playoff this good, and we finally got it. Alrighty. And the irony about that missed field goal is that happened literally at midnight on the dot on New Year's, technically. So, and then I saw like one of those ESPN broadcasts did like a multi-box with the Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest with the end of the game on the other screen, which was pretty cool. I saw that on Twitter yesterday. Thought it was neat. I had to shout that out. All right, 12 o'clock on ESPN2 today, you have the Relio Quest Bowl between number 22 Mississippi State and Illinois. My projection for this game, Mississippi State by 2, total 47 3/10. No Sidney Brown and no Chase Brown for Illinois. And we got 3 45.5. So a 1-point edge on Illinois and an almost 2-point edge on the over. So slight over between Mississippi State and Illinois for the pick. 1 o'clock on ESPN, the Cotton Bowl. Number 16 Tulane and number 10 USC from Dallas. My line is SC by 3.5, total 62 7/20, and it is 2.5 and 64.5. I like the under. No Jordan Addison, which hurts SC, and they're missing Travis Dye and Andrew Voorhees as well, which is going to hurt their running game and obviously their offensive line. So I really do like the under 64.5 in this game. I think Tulane has a really good chance here. 1 o'clock on ABC, number 17 LSU and Purdue in the Citrus Bowl. My line is LSU by 11.5, total 54 7/20. No Charlie Jones, no Aiden O'Connell, no Corey Trice, no Payne Durham for Purdue. Looks like LSU's guys are playing. And this line was taken down on the New Jersey betting sites because of Drew Brees' involvement with Purdue. I think it's a super dumb story, and I think we should be able to bet on this game. So, screw you, Drew Brees. So, it is LSU by 15.5, total 54.5. I'm going to take Purdue getting the points. That is way too many points. And LSU is missing some dudes too, but Purdue's absences are bigger. So give me Purdue getting the points to hang around and stay within 2 touchdowns. And at 5 o'clock on ESPN, you have the Rose Bowl between number 11 Penn State and number 8 Utah from Pasadena. My line's Penn State by 1, total 57 1/10, and it is Utah by 1.5, total 53.5. I think this line's an overreaction because of no Joey Porter for Penn State, but guess who else is missing? Utah's Clark Phillips, who is really good as well. So I have a 2.5-point edge on Penn State, and I have an over 4.5-point edge, or 3.5-point edge on the over. I like the over because of no Clark Phillips, no Joey Porter. That's going to open up passing games for both of these teams. So I'm going over 53.5 between Penn State and Utah. All right, college basketball. We'll go over the results from the weekend and look ahead to a small window for tonight. So we'll begin with Friday night, obviously. Pitt over number 25, North Carolina, 76-74. Number 14, Miami over Notre Dame, 76-65. Holy Cross over Bucknell, 60-58. Navy over BU, 75-58. St. Peter's over Manhattan, 67-57. Stetson over Lipscomb, 86-80 in overtime. Clemson over NC State, 78-64. SC State over St. Andrews, 111-58. Siena over Quinnipiac, 83-76. Morgan State over Hartford, 61-54. Army over Lehigh, 80-78. Michigan State over Buffalo, 89-68. Akron over Concord, 84-58. Ohio over Chicago State, 76-59. Colgate over Loyola, Maryland, 101-67. American over Lafayette, 60-47. Fairfield over Marist, 73-54. Vandy over Southeast Louisiana, 93-55. A&M over Prairie View, 86-66. South Carolina over Eastern Michigan, 74-64. North Alabama over Jacksonville State, 66-62. Number 15, Wisconsin over Western Michigan, 76-66. Houston Christian over New Orleans, 101-96 in overtime. Rutgers over Coppin State, 90-57. North Dakota State over North Dakota, 71-49. USC over Washington, 80-67. Number 11, UCLA over Washington State, 67-66. Saturday was a monster window. Number 22, Xavier over number 2, UConn, 83-73. Number 13, Virginia beats Virginia Tech, 74-56. Number 18, TCU beats Texas Tech, 67-61. Number 19, Kentucky over Louisville, 86-63. Fairleigh Dickinson over Centenary, New Jersey, 99-50. Wake over Virginia Tech, 77-75. New Hampshire over Albany, 67-51. Columbia over Yale, 62-60. Niagara over Mount St. Mary's, 67-55. Seton Hall over St. John's, 88-66. Milwaukee over Detroit, 84-81. Charleston over Towson, 76-74 in overtime. Stony Brook over Northeastern, 65-61. Number 17, Duke over Florida State, 86-67. Bryan over Binghamton, 82-78. Princeton over Harvard, 69-66. St. Louis over St. Joe's, 83-78. Duquesne over Rhode Island, 72-61. Stanford over the Citadel, 75-63. East Tennessee State over VMI, 64-50. Central Connecticut over St. Fran Brooklyn, 74-52. Merrimack over Wagner, 58-48. Sacred Heart over LIU, 82-64. Oakland over Green Bay, 81-65. NTAT over Hofstra, 81-79. Florida Gulf Coast over Jacksonville, 72-65. Number 3, Houston beats UCF, 71-65. Number 4, Kansas beats Oklahoma State, 69-67. Number 5, Arizona beats Arizona State, 69-60. Number 6, Texas beats Oklahoma, 70-69. Iowa State beats number 12, Baylor, 77-62. Syracuse over BC, 75-65. Bradley beats UIC, 79-45. UMass Lowell beats NJIT, 67-64. Charlotte beats Louisiana Tech, 68-66. Marquette beats Villanova, 68-66. George Mason beats Richmond, 62-58. St. Bonaventure beats UMass, 83-64. VCU beats LaSalle, 80-67. Dayton beats Davidson, 69-55. Nevada beats Air Force, 75-69. Utah State beats Fresno State, 67-54. Stephen F. Austin beats Texas Arlington, 66-62. Winthrop beats Asheville, 62-60. Radford beats Presbyterian, 69-51. Gardner-Webb beats High Point, 80-73. Longwood beats Campbell, 67-42. Chattanooga beats Mercer, 80-51. UNC Greensboro beats Wofford, 73-64. Old Dominion beats Louisiana, 70-66. JMU beats Marshall, 72-66. Georgia State beats South Alabama, 68-58. Georgia Southern beats Coastal, 73-64. South Dakota beats Western Illinois, 80-63. UMKC beats Omaha, 75-59. Northern Kentucky beats IUPUI, 55-42. Delaware beats Elon, 57-52. Drexel beats William & Mary, 66-56. UNC Wilmington beats Hampton, 82-65. Kennesaw State beats Central Arkansas, 82-66. North Florida beats Austin P, 90-85 in overtime. Purdue Fort Wayne beats Youngstown State, 76-71. Rider beats Canisius, 66-64. Northern Iowa beats Illinois State, 66-60. Southern Utah beats Texas Rio Grande, 94-88 in overtime. Charleston Southern beats SC Upstate, 90-85. UL Monroe beats Arkansas State, 84-72. Southern Miss beats App State, 76-70. South Dakota State beats St. Thomas, Minnesota, 71-64. Oral Roberts beats Denver, 80-62. Cleveland State beats Robert Morris, 63-54. A&M Corpus Christi beats Northwestern State, 65-59. Southeast Missouri State beats SIU Edwardsville, 82-73. East Carolina beats Wichita State, 79-69. North Texas beats FIU, 72-57. Utah beats Stanford, 71-66. Middle Tennessee beats Western Kentucky, 65-60. UAB beats UTSA, 90-67. Rice beats UTEP, 72-67 in overtime. George Washington beats Loyola Chicago, 97-87. San Jose State beats Colorado State, 78-70. Abilene Christian beats Tarleton, 69-63. Utah Valley beats Utah Tech, 71-70 or 71-60. West Carolina beats Furman, 79-67. St. Fran PA beats Stoneville, 73-72. UC Irvine beats Bakersfield, 79-75. Weber State beats Northern Arizona, 76-60. Montana beats Idaho, 67-56. Eastern Washington beats Montana State, 76-7. Eastern Kentucky beats Queens, 88-83. Number 22, New Mexico beats Wyoming, 76-75. San Diego State beats UNLV, 76-67. Tennessee Martin beats Morehead State, 64-57. Eastern Illinois beats Southern Indiana, 91-80. Tennessee State beats Little Rock, 94-69. Lindenwood beats Tennessee Tech, 82-64. Number 10, Gonzaga beats Pepperdine, 111-88. McNeese beats Lamar, 81-62. Pacific beats Loyola Marymount, 78-72. Troy beats Texas State, 55-52. Sacramento State beats Portland State, 74-63. A&M Commerce beats Incarnate Word, 82-74 in overtime. Cal beats Colorado, 80-76. Sam Houston beats New Mexico State, 75-62. Seattle beats Cal Baptist, 71-65. UC Riverside beats Long Beach State, 73-72. Kansas State beats number 24 West Virginia, 82-76 in overtime. St. Mary's beats Santa Clara, 67-64. San Diego beats San Francisco, 80-68. Fullerton beats Northridge, 62-52. Santa Barbara beats UC San Diego, 82-61. Oregon beats Oregon State, 77-68. Idaho State beats Northern Colorado, 90-83. In overtime, BYU beats Portland 71-58, and Hawaii beats Cal Poly 57-48. New Year's Day, which was yesterday, Vermont beats UMBC 74-61. Indiana State beats Valpo 68-50. Murray State beats Evansville 78-61. Cornell beats Dartmouth 74-63. Siena beats Fairfield 70-61. Providence beats DePaul 74-59. Temple beats Cincinnati 70-61. SMU beats Tulsa 92-67. Wazoo beats USC 81-71. Missouri State beats Drake 52-49. Quinnipiac beats Manhattan 84-65. Iona beats St. Peter 73-55. Michigan beats Maryland 81-46. Tulane beats Memphis 96-89. Southern Illinois beats Belmont 63-45. Penn State beats Iowa 83-79. Butler beats Georgetown 80-51. Number 11 UCLA beats Washington 74-49. And Ohio State beats Northwestern 73-57. All right, today's game's 12 o'clock. You have a Metro Atlantic game, Rider and Niagara. My projections, Rider by 6.25, total 134 and 3/5. And it is... Oh, it's not on FanDuel because, Rider's in New Jersey. I should have known. So it is consensus Niagara by 1, total 130. So I'm going to take Rider getting the 1 and whatever the money line is. 1 o'clock, Holy Cross Navy, so Patriot League. Minus Navy 14, total 138.5, and it's 13.5 and 132.5 over. BU Bucknell at 2. My line is BU by 3, total 135, and it is Bucknell 2.5, total 137.5. Give me BU plus 2.5 and plus 110 to win. Colgate Lehigh, my line's Colgate by 1, total 149 and 4/5. And it's 11.5 and 153.5. Whew, give me Lehigh getting the points. That's way too many points. And Lehigh's 5-1 to win outright, which is interesting. Loyola Maryland and American. My line is American by 7, total 133, and it's 7.5 and 135.5 over. Wright State IUPUI. My line is Wright State by 9, total 140 and 11/20, and it is 15.5 and 136.5. I'm taking IUPUI getting the points. Mount St. Mary's and Canisius at 3. My line is Canisius by 3/4, total 140 and 3/5, and it's 2.5 and 134.5 over. Jackson State, Alcorn State at 5. My line is Alcorn by 7 3/4, total 141 and 4/5, and it is 3.5 and 143.5. I'm going to lay the 3.5 with Alcorn. Miss Valley State and Alabama State at 6:30. My line is Alabama State by 6, total 135 and 17/20, and it's 8.5 and 133.5. So I have a 2.5 point edge on Miss Valley State, and 2.5 to that would be 136. So I'm going to take Miss Valley State getting the points. Eastern Kentucky and Kennesaw State. My line is Kennesaw by 7, total 140 and 3/20. And it's 5.5 and 142.5. Under. All right, 7 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. Number 1, Purdue is hosting Rutgers. And it is Purdue by 9.5, total 131.5. And it is, that's what it is. And then my projections 10.5 and 132 and 13/20. So this is a tough one. So I have a 3/4 edge on Purdue. And I have a over 1 point edge on the over. So I'm going to take the over, slight over. ESPNU, number 24, West Virginia and Oklahoma State, still soon to be unranked West Virginia. My line's Oklahoma State by 3.25, total 140 and 9/10. And it is 2.5 and 139.5. Very close here too. So the pick here would be the over. Same areas of Maryland Eastern Shore we can skip. Army Lafayette. My line is Army by 6.5, total 148.5, and it is Lafayette by a half. It really a pick 'em. But the money line reflects otherwise. Total's 133.5. I have a monster edge on the over and a monster edge on Army. That'd be a fun same game parlay. Give me the over. Penn Brown. My line is Penn by a half, total 136 and 17/20. Its ended is 1.5 and 136.5. Slight lean the Brown. Jacksonville State, Jacksonville. My line's Jacksonville by 5, total 133 and 7/10. And it's 5.5 and 126.5. Over. Lipscomb, Liberty. My line is Liberty by 10.5, total 141 and 3/5. And it's 9.5 and 140.5. Over. Bellarmine and North Alabama. My line's North Alabama by 1.5, total 137 and 3/5. And it is Bellarmine by 1.5, total 133.5. So the pick's going to be the over. Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M at 7:30. My line is Florida A&M by 4.25, total 140 and 1/10. And it's Bethune-Cookman by 2.5, total 135.5. Give me Florida A&M plus the 2.5 and plus 114 to win. North Florida, Stetson. My line is North Florida by 2.5, total 149 and 1/10. And it is Stetson 3.5, total 146.5. Give me North Florida getting the 3.5 and plus 138 to win. 8 o'clock, Pine Bluff and Alabama A&M. My line is Alabama A&M by 4.5, total 140 and 4/5. And it's 7.5 and 141.5. Give me Pine Bluff getting the points. 8:30, Southern and Texas Southern. My line is Texas Southern by 2.25, total 142 and 1/4. And it's 3.5 and 141.5. Slight lean the Southern. Grambling Prairie View. My line is Prairie View by 1.75, total 134 and 3/20. Its ended is 1.5 and 134.5. The lines are so freaking close. So, 1/4 edge on Prairie View. And over 1/4 edge on the unders. I'm going to go with the under. Slight under. And last but not least, Florida Gulf Coast and Central Arkansas. My line is Florida Gulf Coast by 11.5, total 144 and 3/5. And it's 9.5 and 152.5. Under, automatic. That is way too high of a total. All right, now I'll move on to the NBA. We will recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to, I should say yesterday and the weekend, and look ahead to tonight's games, which is 10 of them. Friday, Wizards over the Magic 119-100, Lakers over the Hawks 130-121, Raptors over the Suns 113-104, Bulls over the Pistons 132-118, Bucks over the Timberwolves 123-114, Pelicans over the Sixers 127-116, Nuggets over the Heat 124-119, Warriors over the Blazers 118-112, Kings over the Jazz 126-125. Saturday, Pacers over the Clippers 131-130, Nets over the Hornets 123-106, Cavs over the Bulls 103-102, Knicks over the Rockets 108-88, Mavs over the Spurs 126-125, Grizz over the Pelicans 116-101, Pistons over the Timberwolves 116-104, Sixers over the Thunder 115-96, Heat over the Jazz 126-123. And then yesterday's games, Grizzlies over the Kings 118-108, Wizards over the Bucks 118-95, and the Nuggets over the Celtics 123-111. All right, a lot of games today, as I mentioned at the top. 3 o'clock from the Garden, Suns, Knicks. My line's Knicks by 2, total 226 and 17/20. And it is Knicks by 1.5, total 220. So I'm actually surprised that the Knicks are actually favored in this game. That's because I know. Wait. Booker wasn't even on the injury report. That's weird. I guess he's coming back. Or did we just forget to account for his absence. Oh, wait a minute. We don't even know, like, who's playing and who's not playing in this game. Yeah, Booker and Barrett are out in this game. And so I just forgot to account for those absences. So Booker's 5.5 and Barrett's 3.5. So I just had to do a line change on the spot. So that would bring me to 2. So my projection now is Knicks by 4, total 226 and 17-20. It's 1.5 and 220. I still like the over more than the Knicks because of the edge I have on the over. Maybe Brunson's back, which would be good. Lakers Hornets. My line is the Lakers by 1.25, total 231.5, and it is Hornets by 1, total 242.5. Oh, under. Bulls Cavaliers. My line is the Cavs by 8.25, total 223, and it's 4 and 222.5. I'm laying the 4 with Cleveland. I love the Cavs, and I didn't even account for Lonzo Ball's absence either. So my projection is actually 11.25 for Cleveland. Love the Cavaliers. Raptors Pacers. My line is the Raptors by 3, total 226 and 17-20. And it is 1 and 232.5. So I'm going with the under. Pelicans Sixers. My line is Philly by 7.25, total 225.25, and it is 5 and 228.5. Under. 7:30 Spurs Nets from Barclays. Mine's Nets by 16.75, total 228 and 19-20, and it is 12.5 and 235.5. Under. Mavs Rockets. My line is the Mavs by 7.5, total 224 and 1/10, and it is 7 and 227. Under. Nuggets Timberwolves. My line is Denver by 7.25, total 230 and 3/5, and it's 1.5 and 233. Laying the points of the Nuggets. That's ridiculous. 10 o'clock NBA TV. Hawks Warriors. My line is Hawks by 1.75, total 231 and 3/20, and it is Golden State 1.5, total 237. Under. No Curry is an automatic under for me. Pistons Blazers. My line is the Blazers by 6.75, so 227 and 7/20, and it's 9.5 and 233. Under. And last but not least, from Crypto at 10:30, Heat Clippers. My line is the Clippers by 5.25, total 218 and 17/20, and it's 3.5 and 218.5. I'm gonna do a slight lean to the Clippers in this spot. All right, the NHL. We'll go over the games from the weekend, and we have the Winter Classic as well as some other games to talk about for today. Friday, Preds over the Ducks 6-1, Devils over the Pens 4-2, Hurricanes over the Panthers 4-0, and the Oilers over the Kraken 7-2. Saturday, Sabres over the Bruins 4-3 in overtime on a game winner by Alex Tuch. So what a win for Buffalo. 6 in a row, and Boston looking ahead to Winter Classic, obviously. Blue Jackets over the Blackhawks 4-1. Golden Knights over the Preds 5-4 in overtime on a game winner by Nick Hague. Flyers over the Kings 4-2. Caps over the Habs 9-2. Lightning over the Coyotes 5-3. Wild over the Blues 5-2. Leafs over the Avs 6-2. Red Wings over the Sens 4-2. Stars over the Sharks 5-2. Flames over the Canucks 3-2. And the Jets over the Oilers 2-1. New Year's Day. Canes over the Devils 5-4 in a shootout. Rangers over the Panthers 5-3. Sharks over the Blackhawks 5-2. Sens over the Sabres 3-1. And the Kraken over the Islanders 4-1. All right. Winter Classic today, 2 o'clock on TNT. You have the Penguins and the Bruins. Good game. The Bruins have been the best team in hockey all season, and the Pens kind of been up and down, just like everybody else in the Metro Division outside of Carolina. Bruins minus 184, Pens plus 152, over under 6, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Pens plus 1/2 is minus 170, Bruins minus 1/2 is plus 138. For this one, I'm going to go lay some heavy juice. I'm going to take the Bruins in regulation at minus 118. I just think they're flat out better than Pittsburgh. The game's at Fenway, and I think those fans are going to be rocking. 9 o'clock, you have the Golden Knights to the Avalanche. The Avs are minus 170. Vegas is... Oh, that line just moved. Avs are minus 172. Vegas is plus 142. Over under 6. Overs minus 102. And there's minus 120. Vegas plus 1/2 is minus 172. Avs minus 1/2 is plus 140. Nathan McKinnon's back in the lineup for Colorado, which is a big boost for them. I like the over 6, minus 102. And last but not least, Flyers, Ducks. Flyers minus 118. Ducks minus 102. Over under 6. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. Flyers minus 1/2 is plus 205. Ducks plus 1/2 is minus 260. This game's awful. Both these teams are awful. Over 6, minus 106 is the pick. All right, soccer roundup time. We'll go over all the results from the weekend, and we'll look ahead to anything important for today. All right, we'll start with the English Premier League, because that's the big league. So Friday, Brentford over West Ham 2-0, and Liverpool over Leicester 2-1. Saturday, Man United over Wolves 1-0. Crystal Palace over Bournemouth 2-0. Fulham over Southampton 2-1. Everton, Man City 1-1 draw. Newcastle and Leeds 0-0 draw. And Arsenal over Brighton 4-2. Sunday, Aston Villa over Tottenham 2-0, and Nottingham Forest Chelsea 1-1 draw. All right, 12:30 today, you have Brentford and Liverpool. Should be a really good game. As Liverpool's a premier team. They're minus 180. Brentford's plus 460. Draw plus 350. For this game, I'm going to go with the bull pick over 3.5 goals at plus 148. For my pick for that game. All right, now French League 1. Saturday, Lorient over Angers 2-1. Monaco over Brest 1-0. Nantes over Auxerre 1-0. Toulouse over AC Ajaccio 2-0. Clermont over Lyon 1-0. And Lens over PSG 3-1. All right, going on right now. Troyes over Strasbourg 2-0. I don't know if there's a good betting opportunity there to bet live. Troyes is minus 430. Strasbourg is 9-1, and the draw is plus 480. But I do think that the draw, live betting the draw plus 480 is kind of fun, so let's do it. As like a live bet. Now it's down to plus 460. All right, 11 o'clock, you have Lille and Reims. Lille's favored, minus 165. Reims is plus 420, draw plus 90. I like another draw, plus 190. Montpellier and Marseille at 1 o'clock. Marseille minus 165. Montpellier 4-1, draw plus 290. For this one, I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals plus 110. And 3 o'clock, you have Rennes and Nice. Rennes is minus 110. Nice is plus 290. Draw plus 250. I'm going to go with Rennes at minus 110. All right, the English League Championship. All right, so Friday, Hull over Birmingham 1-0. Norwich City Reading 1-1 draw. Burnley over Stoke 1-0. And Swansea over Watford 4-0. Sunday, Blackburn over Cardiff 1-0. Blackpool and Sunderland 1-1 draw. Coventry and Bristol City 1-1 draw. Luton over Huddersfield 2-1. And Millwall over Rotherham 3-0. All right, so no ELC. Today's be the last day of that until Saturday, January 14th. So a lot of early games. 10 o'clock, you have Birmingham and Borough. Middlesbrough's plus 120, Birmingham's plus 210, draw plus... Or I'm sorry, Birmingham's plus 250, draws plus 210. I'm going Middlesbrough plus 120. Norwich City and Watford. Norwich is minus 130. Watford's 330, draw plus 250. We'll go with the draw plus 250. Swansea and Burnley. Swansea plus 210, Burnley plus 135, draw plus 210. I'm going to go with Burnley plus 135. West Brom and Reading. West Brom's minus 210, Reading's 550, draws 3-1. I'm going to go with over 2.5 goals at even money. Wigan and Hull. Wigan plus 180, Hull plus 260, draw plus 210. I like the draw plus 210. 10-15, Stoke and Preston. Stoke's plus 105, Preston plus 270, draw plus 220. I'm going to go with Stoke at plus 105. And last but not least, 3 o'clock, you have QPR and Sheffield United. Sheffield's plus 120, QPR is plus 220, draw plus 230. I'm going Sheffield United at plus 120. And then English League 1. Friday results, Derby over Cambridge 1-0 and Lincoln City Bolton 1-1 draw. Sunday, Bristol Rovers over Cheltenham 2-1. Port Vale over Forest Green 3-1. Morecambe over Burton Albion 5-0. Exeter over Oxford United 1-0. Wycombe over Peterborough 3-0. Plymouth over MK Dons 3-1. Charlton over Portsmouth 3-1. And Fleetwood Town over Shrewsbury 3-0. All right, 10 o'clock games across this league today. First up, you have Barnsley and Bolton. Barnsley's plus 120, Bolton's plus 240, draw plus 210. I'm going to go with Barnsley plus 120. They're hot right now. Derby and Accrington. Derby's minus 230. Accrington's 550, draw plus 330. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at minus 118. Lincoln City and Ipswich. Ipswich minus 150. Lincoln plus 460. Draw plus 250. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at plus 120. And last but not least, Sheffield Wednesday and Cambridge. Sheffield's minus 420. Cambridge 10-1. Draw plus 460. I'm going to go over 3.5 goals at plus 144. All right, so that's it for the soccer roundup. Now we'll move on to the news and notes for today. Not a lot, weirdly, or not, as we have the Monday show. So the two teams in play for number 1 overall pick are the Bears and the Texans. So I have a future on the Bears to get the number 1 overall pick. So maybe I should hedge and bet against the Texans against when they play the Colts. Should bet on the Colts and Jeff Saturday. So, and even if they're a dog, that would work out because they say if the Colts were a dog and they win and cover, or I should say if they lose but cover as a favorite, I mean. They lose and cover as a dog and say Houston's favored over them. So, yeah. That'd be a good way to hedge that. So, and then the Saturday games were released for Week 18. Chiefs, Raiders, followed by Titans, Jags. So, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman get the Titans, Jags game with a chance for Trevor Lawrence and company to win the division and go to the playoffs. Players to vote for All-Pros for the Players Association unveils the first ever the Players All-Pro team where the players get to vote within their position. Joe Mixon says we're the AFC's big dogs, as he said his squad is ready for the matchup against the Bills. For anything to happen, it's good for us, he says. So, Saquon Barkley says that Daniel Jones deserves respect after the Giants clinched the playoff spot yesterday. Kayvon Thibodeau was unaware that Foles got hurt after that sack. He says, I hope he's all right. And he did the snow angel celebration. Teddy Bridgewater has a broken finger as he's unlikely next week, and Tua is still in concussion protocol. So that combined is if it's Skylar Thompson, they lose to the Jets. New England loses to Buffalo, who's still playing for seeding. Pittsburgh beats the Browns. Who's in the playoffs? The Pittsburgh Steelers. So don't rule that out, guys. Very fascinating. Eagles offensive lineman Josh Sweat was stretched off with a neck injury and was released from the hospital last night. And Tua is eyeing a playoff return. Not even guaranteed they're going to make it. Chargers brought back Joey Bosa yesterday, which was good. DeAndre Hopkins didn't play for Arizona. Hayden Hurst will be back tonight for Cincinnati. Antonio Gibson didn't play for the Commanders, who I think got eliminated yesterday. Them and the Jets, I think, were the two teams that got eliminated. Yannick Ngakoue on injury reserve with the throat injury. The Tua review shows no violations, as the investigation finds that Tua showed no signs that would have triggered league's concussion protocol. RG3's wife went into labor while on air during TCU Michigan. That's wild. Bryce Young got a big standing ovation from the Alabama faithful at the Sugar Bowl the other day. Steve Sarkisian flipped out on the worker. He said, "Don't effing touch me," as he wasn't having this person holding him back before Texas's bowl game. Derek Carr has no plans to retire, as he told people close to him he has his best football ahead of him amid the trade rumors. Cliff Kingsbury's future uncertain, as the owner of the team hasn't come to a decision on Cliff Kingsbury's status for next year. The Giants want to bring back Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. That is good news for the team. The Broncos are going to be aggressive with their head coaching search, as they're not expected to spare any expense or cut any corners. The Jets will not shop Zach Wilson, as he is to remain in team's plans entering year 3. Jerry Jones denies rumors about Terrell Owens coming out of retirement. So now we're just going to do rapid fire, regardless of the sports. Gary Payton came back for the Blazers, or is coming back tonight against the Pistons. Tyrese Maxey came back for Philly on Friday. Darvin Ham says that Anthony Davis's pain has just about dissipated and is trending in the right direction to return. Stars extend Joe Pavelski 1 year, $3.5 million, with additional $2 million in contract bonuses. Vinicius calls out La Liga as Real Madrid forward wants more to be done after receiving alleged racist abuse on Friday. Sporting Kansas City was a real possibility for CR7 until he signed with Al Nassr. Trevor Bauer expected to be released after reinstatement because some in the clubhouse prefer him elsewhere. Evan Longoria signs with the Diamondbacks on a 1-year deal after the Giants declined his option. Eric Hosmer talks with the Cubs as they are having promising conversations, but no deal done yet. And then Al Nassr and CR7 deal is 2.5 years and $75 million per year, which is wild with some of these soccer contracts. Aaron Judge was named the male athlete of the year over Stephen Curry and Shohei Ohtani. I understand why they did it. I would have been okay with Curry winning it because he won a championship, unlike Aaron Judge. But if Ohtani won that, I would have had a major freaking problem because I think he's probably the most overrated sports athlete right now, low-key. He's great, but win a fucking championship before I laud you, for crying out loud. I mean, I know Aaron Judge hasn't won either, but at least Aaron Judge has made the playoffs. So yeah, Shohei Ohtani, how about you make the playoffs before we laud you Athlete of the Year? Like, you can make a case Stephen Curry probably deserved the Athlete of the Year because he won a championship. None of the Rams players deserve it because they were bad this year, even though they won the Super Bowl in the calendar year 2022. But you could have talked me into Nathan McKinnon or Cale Makar of the Avalanche, too. And you could have talked me in to, like, a soccer player like Messi or somebody like that, even after the World Cup. But they give it to a Yankees star, Aaron Judge. Nate McMillan clarifies rumors as he denies talking to Shams, but says he will consider retirement at the end of the season. So he'll remain with the team for now. And then the Hawks CEO, Steve Koonin, rips the Shams report and calls the Nate McMillan rumor trash journalism and calls Shams a hack. Woo! Somebody was pissed off. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day. Brought to you by FanDuel. Trying to go for 1-0 in the calendar year 2023. I have a pick in mind. It's in the NBA. And it is the Cleveland Cavaliers minus the 4 at home against the Bulls. I don't understand why it's that low. They're better than the Bulls. Donovan Mitchell's going to have a good game. I'm going to lay a half unit on the Cavaliers minus 4 at home against the Chicago Bulls for my best bet of the day. All right, so that's it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything in the world of sports and pop culture if necessary. And then we will look ahead to which should be a fun day tomorrow. Maybe I'll have an activity planned or something. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.